starvation diet experiment results. Today we finally get to find out what the results were, where Ryan of Reset Health led a whole group of people through not eating any food at all for how long?
7 days for most, all the way up to 25 days with no food.
But they could drink water, right?
Water.
Okay. No calories though, no protein, no fat, no zero macros.
Yeah.
Why did you start this experiment? Here's what I want to go over for you guys. I want to know why he did this experiment. I want to know what he thought was going to happen, and I want to know what the results were, how much fat they lost, whether they lost muscle, and then also whether certain people reacted differently. Like, did men lose more fat than women? Did athletes lose more fat than non-athletes? So first of all, why did you do the experiment?
Well, our medical clinic for 5 years has been experimenting with a lot of different diets and nutrition regimens to lose weight as fast as possible and keep it off, and most diets don't work. So we have begun something that's called a foodless fast, which ultimately people get the nutrients that they need, but they do not eat any calories whatsoever. And plain and simple, the idea is to try to lose as much fat as physically possible, as fast as possible.
So what did you think in 7 days you were going to accomplish with these people?
So being that you're my big bro, I've used to been into bodybuilding for many years. So I was most worried about muscle loss for all of us. So the downside would be just losing a bunch of muscle because we're not eating. Mm-hmm. The results, I was hopeful that we would lose no muscle and lose a lot of fat. And that's exactly what we accomplished.
So you tested this by what equipment? How do we know that the body composition was such that they lost fat and not muscle? So
we use a bod pod.
How accurate is bod pod?
As accurate as it gets, as accurate as any test. Just same as the water dunking test. So within a couple percentage margin. So take a bod pod before making any lifestyle changes, and then a bod pod after, and we're continuing to follow those people to ensure that their weight's staying off.
All right, now you had how many people go through the experiment?
7.
Okay, what's kind of the types of people that they were?
All different types. We had a guy in his 20s, a female in their 60s. So we wanted to get we've done fasting in the past, but we wanted to see a group going through the same protocols and do some comparisons on other results.
Can you just tell an average amount of weight that gets lost over 7 days fasting if you just took an average of the 7 people in your head?
A pound of fat per day of fasting. So it ranged between 0.7 and 1.2 pounds of fat a day.
Okay. And did females lose any more or less fat than males? Is there any difference?
Yeah, so men, because our hormones are more on our side when it comes to getting rid of body fat, they seem to lose a lot more. And my example is I did the fast with my 6 other people, and I lost 14 pounds of fat, and I lost a whole bunch of mass too. So I said I lost a ton of weight, but as soon as I went back to working out, I gained all my mass back. So I actually ended up in a 3-week timeline. I gained 4 pounds of muscle from the beginning, and I lost 14 pounds of fat. I went from 19% body fat to 13% body fat.
Any side effects?
Yeah, some serious side effects. Tons of energy. Incredible lack of brain fog, so super clear mind. I mean, the amount of ideas I came with was just I'm smarter than I usually am, which is pretty smart. So no negative side effects for me.
How did you not experience extreme hunger? I mean, you're not eating any food. Most people go 6 hours without eating and they're starving.
Yeah. So the magic is, you mentioned the word starvation diet. It's actually the opposite. Starvation would be a deficiency of calories, where your body isn't getting enough. When you fast, your body switches over and completely is using fat storage for energy. So your body gets everything that it needs with respects to energy. Your body already has that stored. That's why we store fat in the first place.
Yeah. So we need to make sure they understand that when you first start fasting, you lose your glycogen stores and you lose a bunch of water. Did that factor into your analysis of how much fat was lost at all?
Yeah, so right out the gate, it looks like you lose a bunch of body mass, which is just the water itself. So we are measuring actual fat loss, and we know and we measure to see everyone's body mass, muscle, that gets replenished as soon as they start eating again. It's pretty amazing.
So roughly a pound of fat lost per day with no food, drinking lots of water.
Some nutrients.
And some nutrients you add in, and no fat loss supplements at all.
No working out.
No DNP.
Don't you dare exercise. No.
Oh yeah, if you're fasting for a week, there's no exercise.
No
right?
exercise.
Okay, because that would tear the body down too much. You have nothing to rebuild.
It's useless. I mean, think about that. When you're eating nothing, think about how the deficiency in calories ultimately that you're having. Let's call it 2,000, 3,000 per day, depending on your body weight. Why would you work out to burn an extra 300 calories, even if that's what it's doing?
Right.
I mean, you're burning fat, baby, high rate.
Yeah. And after the experiment, have you noticed anybody gain any of the fat back?
No, people continue to lose weight because we also guide them afterwards, so they're not going to go back on a super high carb diet or anything like that. But people are continuing to lose weight. No one gained a bunch of weight after the fast. I mean, no one. Everyone maintained, and now they continue to lose. And our friend Brett in particular, who did it with us, fasted for 25 days straight, so no food for 25 days. Most went 7, Brett went 25.
Why did he even start eating at 25 days? What do you?
Because
why didn't he just stop eating forever?
He ate because it was 4th of July. he wanted to have some hamburger.
Good day to break the fast. Yeah. All right. So in future videos, we're going to go over some of the supplements that they take during a fast, other ways to improve a fast, other alternative fasting strategies like shorter periods of time, intermittent fasting, and all of this coming out of the research from this clinic here. So very cutting edge, very fortunate that my brother's working with Reset Health and Dr. Bond in order to bring a lot of the information that otherwise wouldn't come out to us because there's not much financial incentive for a company to promote fasting. So don't eat. I mean, what is there to sell?
Yeah.
Be swell and swole, my friends of freedom, pioneers of human evolution. If you're not already subscribed and you don't want to miss out on cutting edge content on the daily, hit the subscribe button.